Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Tuesday, March 2nd. I hope everyone's off to a good and safe start to their Tuesday so far. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $1,400 direct payments, some proposed changes moderate Democrats are already offering, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you would remember quickly, liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so because of the Bird Rule, which pretty much dictates what can and what cannot be in these reconciliation bills, Senate Democrats are currently working on a replacement bill for the one that already passed in the House. This bill is expected to be finalized by tomorrow, where at that point, they will begin 20 hours of debate. During these 20 hours, Republicans and Democrat senators will have the ability to offer amendments to the bill. Following the 20 hours of debate, the Senate will have yet another vote-a-rama, which, just like last time, won't have a time limit. So, as you can see, we won't be seeing a vote on this bill in the Senate at least over the next couple of days. However, after they complete the vote-a-rama, it is expected the bill should finally be coming to the floor for a vote. Again, since they are passing this bill through reconciliation, all they need to pass this bill in the Senate is 50 votes, with Kamala Harris as the tie-breaking 51st vote. We can expect for this bill to pass along party lines, with all 50 Democrats approving the bill and no Republican support whatsoever. This is because Republicans see a lot of what's in this bill as unnecessary and wasteful spending. Republicans say that only 9% of what's in the bill is actually related to public health spending, while the other 91% addresses other political issues. For example, $200 million is set to go towards the Institute of Museum and Library Services, $135 million is going towards the National Endowment for the Arts, and another $135 million is going to the National Endowment for the Humanities. On top of that, among other things, taxpayers, they say, will be funding $112 million for an underground rail project in Silicon Valley. One Republican representative, Paul Gosar, even half-jokingly offered an amendment to remove 10 agenda items out of the reconciliation bill, and in their place, increase the direct payments up to $10,000 per person. Then, Senator Marco Rubio wrote a letter stating, President Biden and congressional Democrats are hijacking the six-virus package and using it as a Trojan horse to begin a radical restructuring of the nation. I cannot and will not support such an irresponsible bill. Regardless, Democrats will be moving forward with their plan as they don't need any Republican support whatsoever in passing of this bill. However, some centrist Democrats are still calling for some changes in the overall package. For example, during a conference call with President Biden, Democratic Senator John Tester said much of the conversation was focused on targeting money that was being included. Joe Manchin also included that at this point, they're looking to target the bill much better in order to help people that need this money the most. Some of this targeting, they said, centered around the income eligibility for the next round of $1,400 direct payments. Yeah, we're really back to arguing about that again. If you remember, not long ago, they were going to lower the income eligibility requirements, but eventually, in the end, decided to just leave that number alone. Another amendment currently being offered to the Biden administration by Senator Manchin and other moderate Democrats is asking for the unemployment insurance payments to be lowered from $400 per week to $300 per week, but also extending them for a longer period of time. So, instead of the unemployment benefits being extended at $400 per week through the end of August, they would be extended at $300 per week through the end of September. Now, it's being reported that the White House is not interested in either of these changes, as changing something significantly like this could only cause a delay in passing of this bill. At this point, being that the deadline to have this bill signed into law is March 14th, they now have less than 2 weeks to do so. However, at their current pace, the bill should be able to pass through the Senate later this week, possibly at some point this weekend. After that, the bill would be sent off to the House, where they would need to quickly approve it as well, before sending it off to President Biden's desk to be signed into law. So even though it seems like we have a long ways to go, it's very possible that this bill could be signed into law by early next week. If this is the case, again, it's very possible that the next round of direct payments could begin to go out as early as next week. Until then, as always, all we can continue to do is hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of this video, which is from Keenan. Keenan says, "Hi Josh, I have 2 kids under the age of 6, so will I get a $1,400 stimulus check for each once approved? Or will I get a child tax credit around $3,600? Or will I get both? Please let me know as I just filed my taxes for 2020. Thanks." Okay, thank you so much for your question, and you'll actually be eligible for both. So, for the next round of direct payments, you'll be receiving $1,400 for each of your 2 children, in addition to your payment as well. In total, that should be $4,200. Then for the child tax credit payments, starting in July, you should be receiving $300 per month per child if they're paid monthly, which will result in $3,600 per child over the span of a year. In total, this will be $7,200 in payments over the next year from the increased child tax credit. Then, once you add up your next direct payment and your child tax credit payments, that's $11,400 over the next year. As far as your taxes go this year, you won't need to make any adjustments as the child tax credits will be based off of the tax returns that you'd normally be filing next year. Okay, moving along to the next comment video, which is from Chris. Chris says, "Hey Josh, hats off to you as always. I'm in a pickle. Still no $600 check, even though I haven't had any income for the past 5 years. I also haven't filed taxes. Should I go ahead and file right now with $0 in income and claim a $600 credit? How long do you think it will take to see that check? Do you know if anyone has been getting checks for this past week? Checks were said to be mailed on January 6th. Please help." Okay, thank you so much for your question, Chris. And first off, I'm incredibly sorry that you still haven't received the most recent direct payment. In your case, since you haven't filed a tax return in the last 5 years, it sounds like you probably haven't even received the first direct payment of $1,200 either. If that's the case, and you're not being claimed as dependent on anyone's tax returns, then yes, I would definitely go ahead and file a return this year, claiming an $1,800 credit on it. This $1,800, of course, is the combined amount from the first 2 rounds of direct payments. This will ensure that you receive the amount as a tax refund, and although there isn't a set timeline on when you should expect to receive this money, I would think that it shouldn't take too long. Alright, moving along to the next comment video, which is from The Real. The Real says, "Good morning Josh, and every other subscriber. Question, my wife is pregnant and due in May. Once our baby is born, will we get a child tax credit on the newborn?" Okay, thank you so much for your question, and first off, congrats to you and your wife. Secondly, yes, you will be eligible for the increased child tax credit. However, you may have to wait until you file your taxes next year in order to receive this money. This is because unless the IRS has some type of portal for claiming your dependents in advance for the babies born this year, they won't have a way of knowing. So, in your case at least, you may have to wait until 2022 to claim the $3,600 for your newborn. Okay, moving along to the next comment video, which is from Barbara. Barbara says, "Josh, how do I update my bank information to get my stimulus check?" Alright, thank you so much for your question, Barbara. And at this point, unfortunately, there's no way to update your banking information. The only way you can really do it through the backdoor method is when you go to file your tax returns this year, is to ask for your refund to be sent to your new bank. Once the IRS processes your tax returns for this year, they should add that bank as a new one you'll be receiving your next direct payment in. However, if you're not going to file tax returns this year, or you're not due for a refund, then it's my hope that the IRS will allow everyone to update their banking information once again. Since it's been almost 1 year since the first round of direct payments began going out, many people have changed banks, so it would only make sense that they would allow everyone to update the information. But let's wait and see. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free socks from Weeble, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free sock from Robinhood, just for signing up and linking your bank account, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Nike, for $20, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.